figuring out what we can learn. But one thing we do know very clearly is that Black folks suffer. Black folks suffer when there is any kind of global disease, pandemic, whatever it is. Poor people and Black folks suffer the most. So that is one of the clear things coming through. And certainly in this pandemic, I don't want to leave out Latino people because those are some of the numbers that are very high as well. So, it's being discussed. It's being discussed. So, but I wanted to come on to talk about World AIDS Day, which is tomorrow, December 1st. Every year on December 1st, the world commemorates World AIDS Day. And you both know that at FIGHT we usually have a prayer breakfast down at the DoubleTree. It's free and open to the public, and we really have a good time. We have speakers come in, we have people come in, pray, and we eat good food. This year, of course, because of the pandemic, we can't do that. But we are going to do something online. And your wonderful Bishop Dwayne Royster is our keynote speaker this year online for the prayer breakfast, although there won't be any breakfast. So we're calling it a virtual prayer renewal. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. It'll be live streamed at the Faith at Fight Facebook page. So check out our Facebook page, Faith at Fight. We'll be live streaming there, and Bishop Royster will be our keynote speaker. Some of our people who will come in to pray, we're trying to represent various faith communities. We have Wahida Shabazz El from the Islamic community and also part of Faith's community. She's going to lead Islamic prayers. Reverend Dasha St. Remy is going to lead the Christian prayers, and Rabbi Ari Lev Bernari will lead the Jewish prayers. And we're also going to have Ruth Naomi Floyd do a couple of, you guys know her as a jazz vocalist, but she's also a wonderful flutist or flautist. She's a flute player, so she's going to play a couple selections. And so, we're excited. It's not like being in person, but I think this virtual celebration is going to be uplifting. The numbers are decreasing. That's something to celebrate, particularly in some parts of the world. But then in other parts, like South Africa, those numbers keep rising as far as people contracting HIV. There's still 38 million people in the world living with HIV, and so we want to continue to educate ourselves, keep talking about it, and celebrate the wonderful antiretroviral drugs that keep people living who have HIV. So there's lots to celebrate, lots to remember, and we're excited about that.
I got you. Doc, I wanted to ask you, because you've been a professor for a lot of years, what got you into this work in terms of working with FIGHT and dealing with HIV and AIDS?
Yeah, it's I have been at FIGHT now for 7 years, and I think the only other work I did related to HIV was, there was an organization in North Philly back in the 90s, and they needed my organization needed a representative at that particular group, and it was an AIDS group. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was Ecumenical AIDS Resource Center. I was a representative on that board for Messiah College when I was teaching there, and so about 7 years ago, after many years of teaching, I felt like I wanted to do something more gritty, something that really impacted people's lives in a more direct way. I knew I didn't want to be a pastor in a traditional sense, but I think I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed and tired of teaching, which didn't always feel very rewarding. And so this opportunity came about to create a faith program within this community health center. And I thought, okay, I will do this. Now, Bishop McNair was there. I can't neglect to say that. He had been doing some things. But they wanted somebody to do things more formally, somebody who was a staff person who would come in and create a faith program. And so I took the challenge, and it's really been amazing and rewarding in lots of ways. I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning. So, and met some wonderful people, family. I call these folks now. So, yeah, it was, I don't know, maybe I was having a midlife crisis. I just wanted to do something different.
Well, I mean, first of all, the work that you've done is incredible. There are hundreds of people that turn out for this event every year. You know, and I think that that's important because it's popular education. I know, you know, I'll be speaking tomorrow, but I'm following the footsteps of the likes of Bishop Yvette Flunder, who flew in from San Francisco, California, who spoke either last year or the year before last, was incredible. And I got to watch part of her presentation online. But I mean, this is some incredible work and really getting and galvanizing the faith community. And I think your work, going back to what Dr. Tyler was asking earlier, I think really has helped us think about what we have to do in this moment around the COVID crisis.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for that. It's certainly work that's been built up by many people before I got there. So, but yeah, we've been blessed with some tremendous speakers. Wow, who was our speaker last year? I'm trying to remember. Oh my goodness, why did her name just float over her head? Who's our Lutheran bishop right now?
Yeah.
Bishop Davenport.
Yeah,
yes,
Bishop Davenport.
Yes, Bishop Davenport. Bishop, it's too early, y'all. I can't remember a thing. But Bishop Davenport was our speaker last year, and she was just very, very encouraging and nurturing and fantastic. Yeah, we've had some great speakers. I think before that we had, maybe it was Reverend Dr. Quentin Robertson. We had, Pastor, I remember my first year there, we managed to get, it's really too early.
Let me ask you this, because we're coming up on the break. We talked a little earlier about just the different ways in which HIV and AIDS has impacted the Black community. As a vaccine is rolling out with COVID, people are saying, I'm hearing from a lot of Black folk, they're not going to take it. You know, are there things, because again, we have good reason to distrust the medical profession, think Tuskegee Airmen and the Tuskegee experiment, you think smallpox in blankets for indigenous people. So there's a lot of, real reasons why we're skeptical. I would imagine in the HIV fight, as a lot of these drugs became available, you probably experienced that as well. Are there lessons that we can learn from the fight in HIV as we start to think about how we message getting the vaccine out to Black folk who by nature just are probably more prone to say, no, I'm good?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the big messages we learned with HIV is that faith communities matter. People will model what their pastors or their faith leadership models for them. And so I think it will be important with this COVID vaccine to make sure that, faith leadership takes the vaccine, and people will follow that. One of the things we found is that folks would not get tested for HIV, but that changed in great ways once they saw their pastors getting tested for HIV. I mean, people have testing. We know Enon's well known for that. We'll have testing days, and the pastor will be the first one in line. And that has really made an impact. So I think it's going to be similar for the COVID vaccine. That folks need to see their leadership in every capacity, not just faith, but in every capacity, because folks will model that. We see folks are looking for good leadership. Frankly, folks are looking for any kind of leadership. I mean, I won't get on politics.